A new twist in a high-profile court case, one that's generating a lot of buzz in Washington. Donald Trump's former campaign manager, Paul Manafort, will plead guilty to 2 charges of conspiracy. It's the latest legal fallout from the Mueller investigation. CBC's Lindsay Duncombe's watching all of this unfold. She joins us live from Washington. What is the importance in this, Lindsay?
Well, this is definitely a key development in Robert Mueller's investigation to the Russian involvement in the 2016 campaign and the Trump team. The fact that the former campaign manager has agreed to cooperate means that there's all kinds of information that potentially Paul Manafort could give to those investigators. Some of that might be related to the Trump Tower meeting. Manafort was in the room when the Russian lawyer was there, at Donald Trump Jr., Trump's son, was also there. The premise was to get dirt on Hillary Clinton. There's been a lot of mixed information about that meeting. It's key to the investigation. Manafort was in the room when it happened, and he will presumably give that information over. The other part of this is the policy shift towards Ukraine. Initially, Donald Trump had supported the independence of Ukraine, changed his tune after Manafort joined the campaign. So those are key bits of information potentially Manafort could provide. This is something that was seen to be part of the strategy of the special counsel, that you put all these charges, and none of the specific charges had to do with the campaign themselves. These were money laundering charges. They go back to the time when Paul Manafort was working in Ukraine for pro-Russian government forces, and he was he had his hands tied in the sense that he was convicted in Virginia on several of these kinds of charges. He was facing another trial. The big question leading up to all of this was, would he flip? And today it appears as though he did.
And we're just seeing right now that Paul Manafort in court, he has told the federal court, Lindsay, I plead guilty. So we knew this was coming before this happening in court right now. What's the reaction been from the White House?
Well, the initial reaction from the White House was very similar to what we have heard in other developments on the Paul Manafort case, is that this is all about his dealings in Ukraine. This has nothing to do with the 2016 campaign. That is ignoring the fact of what could happen as a result of this cooperation agreement. And it's not a surprising reaction, but I think we have to watch very carefully what Donald Trump says next, because if we look at his previous comments about Paul Manafort, when Michael Cohen pleaded guilty to charges, and on the same day as Manafort was convicted, Donald Trump praised Paul Manafort as a brave man who wouldn't break. He went on a television interview and said that he didn't like flippers. He didn't think you should be allowed to flip in the justice system. Now, his former campaign manager, someone who he has commended, has essentially turned on him, is cooperating in what Donald Trump has referred to repeatedly as a witch hunt. This shows that the investigation is moving closer to Donald Trump, and it will certainly upset Donald Trump and the staff around him today.